up, you guys? We're going to go ahead and jump into this blackout reading. Let's go ahead and get right on into it. For those of you that are joining us in this read today, you guys, this reading comes with a dream, okay? As the blackout messages do that I record over here. So let's go ahead and get into this thing. Have y'all ever woke up in the middle of a dream, but you woke up in the dream? Well, this is how this one kind of went. Okay. So I was having a dream, but in the dream, I woke up and knew I was dreaming in the dream, but I was still asleep in the physical. Okay. So the way this dream started out, it started out with me being at my sister's house, and I was reaching for something, but I had on a long t-shirt. But as I reached up, the long t-shirt got even shorter. And my sister walked into the room along with my niece, and she was actually um, walking in, and she saw me reaching for something, but then she saw her husband actually try to help me reach for or get off whatever, get down what it is I was reaching at the top of the, I'll say, cabinet for. Okay. So he ends up getting it down, and to her, it didn't look right. But for me, it was completely innocent. I had on a really, really long t-shirt. And I'm thinking to myself as she was going off on me, because she got hysterical in my dream when she walked into the room, into the kitchen, and she saw her husband assisting me. Because she was saying I shouldn't have been walking around with a short shirt on. And I was like, the shirt's really not short. I'm like, I wear shorts and dresses shorter than this. It's a t-shirt. It's an oversized t-shirt. And as I was reaching up, it raised up. So it appeared shorter than it really was. I'm like, you're overreacting. But it didn't stop her from going off in my dream. And so and I've never done anything like this in real life in front of my sister's husband. I'm not that type of woman. Okay. Let's clear the air right there. That's not my MO. Okay. But anyway, back to the dream. So, I'm telling her, like, sister, you're overreacting. I just was trying to get this, we'll say jar down off the top of the cabinet. And I'm like, he just walked in at the right time to help me, and you just happened to walk in at the time where it looked awkward. And I'm like, it's not like that, and you should know me better than that. And then some emotions in the dream, like from, I guess I had some feelings or something I was holding on to. I just let it all out. I'm like, so me and my sister, we get into this massive argument, and she ends up putting me out of the house, okay, in my dream. So I leave the house. I take what I had with me. In my dream, I had like a bag of clothes and a backpack. I took that with me, and I just started out walking. And it was weird. As I was walking, you guys, I actually ended up walking in the playground area of my childhood elementary. And as I'm walking through the playground and the field, I'm seeing groups of people that are kind of gathering and playing games, and um, throwing a ball back and forth, just kind of playing out in the field, something that you would see on a child's playground, right? Or out in the outfield when kids are on recess. So I see these other people, and none of us were children. We were all adults, but we were just in a childhood setting for me in this dream. And so we're there, and I walk up on some people, and this guy in particular, this Hispanic guy in my dream, he had really nice hair. I remember his hair being very curly, but very like flowy at the same time. It wasn't very short. It had a little length to it. And I was like, okay, I'm like, he's like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, hey, I'm good, just kind of down on my luck right now. I'm like, I am trying to, find somewhere to stay. Me and my sister got into an argument. She put me out of the house. And so he's like, well, hey, you can come and stay with us. And I'm like, okay. I had nowhere else to go in my dream. So I go ahead and I go stay with him. Now he takes me to this house, and this house actually belonged to a doctor. Give me 1 second. Okay. So this house actually belonged to a doctor. And I knew it belonged to a doctor because as soon as we got there, the house was gorgeous. It had a nice pool in the backyard, very, very high ceilings, very well decorated, a very nice home. And he took me to the office space of this doctor in his house. And uh, he introduces me. He's like, "Hey, this is my friend. Gonna let her stay here if that's okay with you." And he's like, "Yeah, sure, that's fine." He's like, "Get her a drink." So in my dream, they go to pour me an alcoholic beverage. And in my dream, it was crazy because I don't drink around people I don't know, right? So I was like, "Look, yeah, no, I'm good. No thanks on the drink. I'll just take a bottle of water." So they kept insisting that I have this drink, and I'm like, "Dude, I'm good. I don't, just nah, bro. I'm cool. Thank you. I'm gonna just drink this water." So they're like, "All right, well, cool. Well, you can go ahead and lay down right here." And they made me like this makeshift pallet in the living room on the floor, but it was a huge like blow up air mattress that like several of us were sleeping on. Now, in the dream, others went outside and I was exhausted. So I just took the opportunity to just, set my bags down, have a sip of my water, and lay down. So as I'm laying down, I go ahead and I go to sleep and I wake up and I'm woken up because they're saying, "Hey, this doctor wants to see you in his office." And so I'm like, "Okay." So I go back there and I go into this doctor's office. I go back there by myself. And again, he's trying to offer me this alcoholic beverage. And I'm telling him, like, "No, I'm good." And then I started to feel guilty in the dream. It was like I felt bad because I'm like, "Oh my God, here this doctor is letting me stay here. And here I am, like, turning down this drink." And so I'm like, "Okay, I'll take the drink." But I didn't sip from the drink. Confirmation, I just took the drink. Okay. Like I had it in my hand. So as I took the drink in my hand, he calls out, this is what he says, but my, he uses an ex's name, not my ex's, but somebody I know's ex name. And it was like as if he was comparing me to them. He says, "Well, we'll say this ex's name is like, we'll say her name is Leslie." Okay, so he's like, "Well, Leslie took the drink too." And I was thinking to myself, it didn't hit me right then, but later, as this dream went on, it was the calling of the ex's name that really kind of snapped me out of this dream. So anyway, I heard what he said. He's like, "Yeah, Leslie took the drink too." And I was like, "Okay," but like I said, it didn't hit me right away. So then I held the drink and he began to talk to me and he's like, "I am letting you stay here." And, it was almost like he was trying to push up on me. He stood up and he tried to like hold me from behind. And then he started to like try to put his hands down my pants. And I was like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "It's not that type of party. I don't know what you thought this was. Thanks for letting me stay here. But you know what? No." And so he's like, "Well," again, he brings up this ex's name. He's like, "Well, Leslie let me do it." And I was like, "Well, I'm not fucking Leslie." And then after the second time of him saying her name, it hit me. I set the drink down and I went to gather my things. And I turned around as I was picking up my belongings. And it was weird because everybody that was outside at the pool started to come in from outside. So as they were coming in through the patio door, I was turning to the doctor who had now entered the kitchen as I had walked out of his office and back into the front of the house. And I turned to him and I say, "You know, I get that Leslie would have did this and that and the other, but I'm not Leslie." And I was like, "And as a matter of fact, why are you even calling her name? Like, why is she even relevant in what's going on right here?" And he just looked at me with this look on his face that like shocked or wowed, like he was surprised that I caught on, that I was like, that I called him out on his shit. one, that he was trying to put his hands all over me. And two, that he kept bringing up this ex girlfriend or ex spouse of my current partner. And I was like, what the heck? Like, what is wrong with you? So everybody like got quiet, everybody that was in the room. By now it was kind of that awkward silence because I had just gone off on this doctor. And as all of this happened, like I said, when I realized what was going on, and I snapped out of the dream, but I was still asleep, it's like, I'm like, this is a fucking dream. I'm like, whatever y'all are trying to do, it's not going to work. And I woke up in the dream, but still asleep in the physical. Confirmation. So as I did this, the whole room shifted. And it was weird because I then saw like what was going on as if it was a play, like a theatrical play. And I could then see what was going on behind the curtain. I could see the lifting of the curtain. I could see the actors, but in their real, without their mask on, right? It was weird because I could see them in their truth. And I saw what they were actually trying to do. I'm like, okay, this is an illusion. So I realized that within my dream, somebody was trying to cast an illusion that I had woke up in the middle of and called them all out on. So it removed the illusion and I could see each actor or actress in motion. Now, as I did, like I said, the whole scene shifted and it changed and it became this set where I was actually seated next to the divine. And it was crazy because I looked at the divine and I said, and it wasn't God, it was Jesus. And I looked at him and I said, they didn't know you were here. And he looked at me, he said, they sure didn't. And then we both turned and we looked at everybody that was on this set without their mask on. And we looked at them and they got spooked, even more spooked than they were when it was the moment of awkward silence. So they got spooked. And it was like, I told Christ, I looked at him and I said, I'm taking back everything they just tried to take from me. He nodded his head as if to say, go ahead. So I snatched it without moving from my seat. It's like I don't know, I had these supernatural powers and I just snatched it all out of their hands. And then I woke up from my dream. I'm sorry. I didn't wake right up. There was something else that happened. After I snatched back this energy or power or whatever it was, these items from these people, one of the female actors or actresses, she came extremely close to me and Christ. And as she did, I could tell she was baffled. She was baffled because one, it was like she didn't believe that Christ existed or that he was really sitting there next to me. Confirmation. And it's like she wanted to try one more time to pull the wool over my eyes, but it was like a threat, like without saying any words, it was understood the saying or phrase, don't you dare. And her spirit got spooked because her eyes got really, really big. And it was almost animated where it was like you could see the reaction come out of them. Like you saw the exclamation or the shock and surprise. Like, I don't know how to really explain it, but it was like her character, her aura was in shock and surprise. And I just said, yeah. And I looked at her and I shook my head. And it's crazy because I know exactly who this woman is in real life. I don't know her personally, but I know of her. Confirmation. And I feel like now that I've confirmed this dream, she knows that I know too. I hope that you guys enjoyed this message. I'm not going to pull any cards on this one, but I had to get this out of my mind and heart. My loves, I hope it resonates with whoever it was meant to resonate with. And as always, I would love to leave this up to your own interpretation as it may be resonant in different areas of your life and on an individual and personal level to each of you. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this message, my loves. Thank y'all so much for hitting that like button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.